Humor can be used in many ways. As a virtue, it opens people up. It shows the truth and relieves the burden of it. It encourages people to grow up and not take everything super seriously. Humor as a virtue uses laughter to ease the pain. It grows from humility, wisdom, and charity. It is not silliness, but is often mistaken for that. Humor as a virtue is never used to hurt someone. The virtue of humor makes life lighter and more enjoyable. It helps relieve the struggle and disappointment. It gives us perspective and insight about what we can and cannot change. Humor can be found whatever the circumstances are.
What is humor to you?
The ability to laugh and make other people laugh, but not at each other, at life circumstances. It becomes a virtue when it makes you better and it makes those around you better.
To me, humor is the ability to make the best out of a situation that might not always be the best and turn it into something that you can really just laugh off.
Most would define it as a term to make people laugh, but I would say something that makes people happy, brings people together. It's a characteristic of somebody that just gets the people going, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Anything that makes you laugh.
Humor is when something makes you laugh. Humor is brightening someone's day with a nice little smile.
Humor is anything that makes me laugh, or smile. Anything that's, I don't know, like witty.
Humor is
something that makes people laugh.
Yes, when you laugh.
It's
Just laughing and living life.
Virtue of humor is needed everywhere because that's where motivation is drawn from. That's when you are able to find the enthusiasm of a certain topic that you're trying to present on. And humor, actually, there's a lot of learning that goes on with humor because there's puns that are part of humor, and through those techniques, people will be able to understand concepts, will be able to memorize certain situations that's applied when humor is integrated.
And humor is also critical because life is serious and life is difficult and challenging, and you've got to be able to laugh sometimes. You got to be able to take a step back and look at kind of the absurdity of things and not get too burdened down by responsibilities. And humor helps to kind of unburden and give everybody kind of a chance to breathe and catch their breath.
Is it always a good thing?
No. Yes. Humor's always funny.
No, as humor can be used as a weapon. So that's a really important distinction. Humor as a virtue makes self and others better, but humor can also be used as a weapon. In fact, I would imagine, I don't know what you think, brother, but I would think that humor is at least as often used as a weapon than as a virtue, which is a shame.
Humor is always good because you gotta laugh.
Eye contact.
You always have to smile and just be joyful. You can't be down on yourself.
Yes, I guess so. I mean, it can be, otherwise it can be really bad too.
Sometimes, not when it makes the person feel smaller.
Over humor can be a bad thing sometimes, maybe, but like the right amount is good, you know.
I think it's a good thing when it's done in the right context, but I think it can also hurt too.
One needs to be cognizant when humor can be applied to a certain situation by studying the dynamics of the environment that they're being surrounded by, or perhaps on the topic that they're about to speak about. So just one has to keep in mind that humor can be a good tool, but as Doctor said, it can also be used as a weapon. So we need to keep them in the forefront.
Do you use humor in your life, and if so, why?
I definitely do. To amuse myself, make things a little bit lighter, class more fun.
Yes, because it lightens up my day.
I don't really, I've never really used humor before. Maybe sometimes with my friends, maybe, but that's about it.
Yes. So I can get that bright little smile. Can it help people, and if so, how?
Yeah, it can help people because like if someone's really sad or if they're mad, you're able to make them laugh and just be happy. And it brings up their day. You feel real good about yourself afterwards.
Definitely.
Yes. Could brighten their day with a nice little smile. It can help lighten up a person's day.
I don't know if it can help people, but it can make them laugh.
Yeah, it does help people, when you're having a bad day, feeling down, humor just, somebody tells you a good joke, you just want to just go to the clouds and just fly, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you enjoy spreading humor?
It makes other people laugh and smile.
Because it helps lighten up other people's days.
Oh, because I love people, and I love this world that we're in, and we're supposed to, as Christians, we're supposed to make the world a better place, and I think humor is a big part of that, helping people to come together and to celebrate life and friendship, and I think humor does that.
Yeah, I enjoy spreading humor because when you do it, you make other people feel really good, and when you make them feel good, you make them have confidence. When you have confidence, you can do anything throughout your day. So that's why I really like it.
It's a way of inviting, also, especially within our culture and context here at a Catholic school, as a Marianist school. It's a way to bring people together. Sometimes we start off a certain topic of conversation with a little bit of humor, but we know that that's going to lead us into the real bulk of the work. So yeah, it depends on a comedian on how they're going to be using that in the context of what they want to present or talk about.
Do you approve of how comedians on television use humor?
It depends. It really depends on the comedian. Some of them I think use a more rude, harsh kind of comedy, but some of them, I don't have any specific examples. Some of them I think do a pretty good job.
I think it depends on the comedian, and pretty quickly, because if it's used as a weapon, it's used to tear down, it's used to make fun of, it's used to disrespect and dismiss. And if it's used as a virtue, it gives people a perspective on life. It gives everybody a good feeling, and it brings people together.
For the most part, sure.
How can it be acquired? It can be acquired if you are open to it. You have to see the brighter side in life. People who practice it as a virtue do not hurt others. You have to expose yourself to a sense of humor, and hopefully it will rub off on you. Finally, and most importantly, you cannot take things too seriously. What did we learn about humor? Everybody has a different view about it, and people all have different styles of humor. Some people didn't even know it could be used as a virtue or a vice. Humor does not make things a joke. The world is full of humor and opportunities for it. To improve our life, we just have to be more open to it.